The mysterious disappearance of the sapphire heiress. In the quaint town of Riverton, renowned for its picturesque landscapes and charming atmosphere, a dark cloud of mystery and intrigue hung in the air. The renowned sapphire heiress, Penelope Summersby, had vanished without a trace from her opulent mansion. The townsfolk were left bewildered, desperate for answers, and so they turned to the one man they knew could solve this enigma, Detective Oliver Westfield. With his sharp mind and keen eye for detail, Detective Westfield arrived at the grand Summersby estate. He surveyed the lavish surroundings, ornate furnishings, and priceless works of art, each telling a story of wealth and luxury. It was within these walls that the heiress had last been seen, hosting an extravagant soiree the night before her disappearance. As the detective delved deeper into the case, he discovered a web of secrets and deceit lurking beneath the surface. Every maid, butler, and guest became a potential suspect, each with their own motives to covet Penelope's fortune. The gossipy whispers among the servants hinted at long-held grudges, hidden affairs, and bitter rivalries, which added layers of complexity to the investigation. The detective meticulously examined Penelope's personal effects, finding a series of cryptic letters written by an anonymous sender. These letters suggested a clandestine relationship that Penelope had kept hidden from the world. As he followed this lead, a startling revelation emerged: Penelope had been leading a double life, entangled in an illicit affair with a mysterious stranger. As Detective Westfield dug deeper into the secret life of the sapphire heiress, he uncovered a network of connections leading to an underground world of criminal activity. Seedy back-alley bars, dark alleys, and dangerous figures appeared on his radar, each one potentially involved in Penelope's disappearance. The detective's own life was put at risk as he pursued the truth, but his determination never wavered. Days turned into weeks, and still, no sign of Penelope emerged. However, Detective Westfield refused to give up. Following a lead, he found himself at the doorstep of an old abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Inside, he discovered a hidden room, filled with stolen jewelry and treasures, each piece more valuable than the last. Among them, sparkling brighter than all, was the legendary Summersby sapphire. The detective pieced together the puzzle. Penelope had been framed by her lover, another wealthy heir who sought to take her fortune and eliminate her from his life. However, in his haste to dispose of the evidence, he had made a crucial error, leaving the sapphire behind. With the evidence in hand, Detective Westfield orchestrated an elaborate trap to catch the mastermind behind the plot. In a thrilling showdown, with tension thick in the air, justice prevailed, and the truth was revealed. The townsfolk rejoiced as Detective Oliver Westfield emerged triumphant, presenting the evidence that would restore Penelope Summersby's name and bring her back to Riverton. The heiress returned to the adoring embrace of her grateful neighbors, forever indebted to the unwavering determination of their beloved detective. And so, the tale of the mysterious disappearance of the sapphire heiress became the enduring legend of Riverton, a testament to the power of perseverance and the triumph of truth over deceit. The missing ring. It was a humid summer evening in the small town of Millville. Detective Sarah Johnson had just started her shift at the police station when a frantic woman burst through the doors. "Please, you have to help me. My wedding ring is missing," the woman cried. Detective Johnson took down the woman's information and began investigating the disappearance of the ring. She questioned the woman's husband, friends, and even combed through their house for any clues. Days turned into weeks and still, there was no sign of the missing ring. Detective Johnson refused to give up hope. One day, as she was driving through town, she noticed something peculiar in the window of a pawn shop. It was the missing ring. Detective Johnson rushed into the store and demanded to know where they got the ring. The pawnbroker reluctantly admitted that a man had sold it to him just days ago. With this new lead, Detective Johnson dug deeper and discovered that the man who sold the ring was actually the woman's ex-boyfriend who had recently been released from prison. Through careful investigation and a lot of legwork, Detective Johnson was able to connect the man to the theft of the ring and ultimately bring him to justice. The case may have taken longer than expected, but Detective Johnson never gave up and was able to solve the mystery of the missing ring. The case of the missing heirloom. Detective James was a renowned investigator with an impeccable track record. He had solved some of the toughest cases that the city had to offer. But this time, his skills were put to the test when a wealthy family hired him to find their missing heirloom. The heirloom was a priceless antique bracelet passed down for generations in the family. It had been stolen from the family's mansion during a dinner party they had hosted. Detective James arrived at the mansion and began his investigation. He interviewed all the guests and staff who had attended the dinner party. However, he could not find any leads. Days passed, and he was still struggling to find any clues. One day, while driving through the city, he noticed a suspicious-looking man wearing a similar bracelet to the one that had been stolen. He immediately followed the man and trailed him to a seedy part of town. As he approached the man, he noticed that he was wearing the same bracelet, but it was slightly different from the one that had been stolen. Upon further investigation, he discovered that the man was a fake antique dealer who had created a replica of the valuable heirloom. Detective James immediately arrested the man and recovered the stolen bracelet. He delivered the bracelet back to the family, who were thrilled and rewarded him handsomely for his work. This case proved to be one of the most challenging cases in Detective James's career, but he was glad that he had been able to help the family recover their priceless heirloom.